Has the demon doll finally killed somebody in real life?
One of the most famous would be Annabelle.
This is the worst thing in here. It's that doll.
Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator and one of the handlers of the famed Annabelle doll, died suddenly over the weekend.
The origin of the Annabelle doll starts in 1970, when it was given as a birthday present to a nursing student. It was not the porcelain doll shown in the films, but rather a Raggedy Ann doll from the late 1960s. The girl and her flatmate thought the doll was haunted since they observed odd things happening with it. As time went on, they began to notice that the doll would change positions and even appear to have a mind of its own. Disturbed by these occurrences, they sought help from a medium who claimed that the doll was possessed by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle. In the 1970s, Donna, a student nurse, received the Raggedy Ann doll as a gift from her mother. She and her roommate, Angie, initially dismissed the strange occurrences as imagination, but the doll's movements and other unusual events escalated. A medium was consulted, who claimed the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle, who had died on the property. The medium suggested that the spirit had attached itself to the doll. Donna and Angie, feeling sorry for the spirit, gave Annabelle permission to inhabit the doll, which only worsened the situation. The girl started noticing the doll moving on its own, initially subtle shifts in position, and later more dramatic changes like finding it in different rooms or with its limbs rearranged. They found handwritten notes on parchment paper with messages like "Help us" and "Help Lou," even though they didn't own that type of paper. Lou, a friend, had a terrifying experience where he felt choked by an unseen force and woke up to find the doll near him. A priest eventually contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren, who concluded that the doll was not possessed by a girl's spirit. They determined the doll was demonically possessed, not just haunted by a spirit, but rather by a demonic entity manipulating the doll to eventually possess a human host. The Warrens took possession of the doll, believing it to be a dangerous portal for demonic activity. It was placed in a locked glass case in their occult museum, where it is still housed today. A priest who dismissed the doll experienced a car crash on the way home after seeing Annabelle in his rearview mirror. According to the Warrens' account, a young man and his girlfriend visited the Warrens' occult museum. While there, the man reportedly laughed at and taunted the doll, even banging on the glass case. He was warned by the museum's curator. On their way home on his motorcycle, the man lost control and crashed head-on into a tree. He was killed instantly while his girlfriend survived but was seriously injured. The girlfriend allegedly told police that at the time of the crash, the couple was laughing about the doll. Even to this day, there are claims of YouTubers being targeted or attacked by the haunted Annabelle doll, often linked to experiences during or after visiting the doll at the Warrens' Occult Museum.
To this day, the owners are the only ones who are allowed to touch Annabelle, and they're only able to hold her with welding gloves doused in holy water.
The equipment's probably gonna go off while I'm talking about this. So.
Oh, wow. Speaking of,
These are the gloves that I use when I handle the objects in this museum. But within these gloves, in each finger, is a holy relic. These were blessed at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Wade had these made for me, for my protection, because I didn't have a good experience with Annabelle when I moved Annabelle originally. I've gotten into a car accident because of this doll. Not just one, it was quite a few. Every time I moved this doll, it was always an accident.
do you ever hear tapping on the glass? Because when we were over here, it sounded like something was tapping.
There is tapping, knocking in here when you least expect it.
Almost on cue.
We heard growls coming from on the second floor.
Dan Rivera, a paranormal investigator and handler of the Annabelle doll, passed away at the age of 54 while on tour with the doll. He was a lead investigator for the New England Society for Psychic Research. The official cause of death is still pending autopsy results. Many people online believe Annabelle had something to do with his death, given his involvement with the doll. After the death of Ed and Lorraine Warren, the Annabelle doll remains in their occult museum, now under the care of their museum's new owners. Matt Rife, the comedian, has become the legal guardian of the Annabelle doll, which was housed in the Occult Museum of Paranormal Investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. He acquired the Warrens' home and museum, including the Annabelle doll, along with fellow YouTuber Elton Castee. More recently, reports and rumors of the Annabelle doll moving have continued, especially in relation to a promotional tour called Devils on the Run that showcased artifacts from the Warrens' Occult Museum. During this tour, there were instances where the doll was reported to have gone missing or caused unusual events. However, the New England Society for Psychic Research, which had recently managed the museum, clarified that the doll was never truly missing and was secured during the tour. The Annabelle doll has paved the way for many movies, such as the Annabelle trilogy and the Conjuring films and movies. And it's highly likely the concept of Annabelle will be in The Conjuring 4: Last Rites. The Annabelle doll is a terrifying object that requires serious consideration when visiting. Many believe that it carries a malevolent spirit, making it not just a mere doll but a conduit for supernatural occurrences. Those who have encountered it often recount unsettling experiences that linger long after their visit. Visitors are frequently advised to approach with caution and respect, as the stories surrounding Annabelle have led to a heightened sense of unease. Curators of the exhibit often share warnings, suggesting that those who mock the doll may find themselves facing inexplicable misfortunes. And although we have tons of evidence about Annabelle, we still don't know how to truly keep ourselves safe from her energy. It is unclear how the doll can attach itself to you. Many believe you have to visit her and taunt her to be in any serious danger, while others believe it's as simple as looking at a photo or watching a video about her on the internet. But do not worry, as I have done a protection prayer on editing this video, so you guys should be safe. The story of the Annabelle doll is one to be both afraid and amazed of. It serves as a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie within the supernatural. Many believe that the doll is a vessel for malevolent spirits, drawing curiosity and fear in equal measure from those who hear its tale. The Legend of Robert the Doll. In the heart of Key West, Florida, an old house stands steeped in a silence that is anything but empty. The Artist House, once the home of artist Robert Eugene Otto, carries within its historical walls a pervasive sense of disquiet. This feeling is most potent when one stands on the street below and gazes up at the turret suite window. For generations, whispers have clung to that window pane, rumors of a dark-eyed figure watching from within. School children walking past on their way home would look up and swear they saw a doll, a large, unsettling doll, move slowly from one side of the window to the other, a silent sentinel observing their passage. The stories that follow are not simply tales of a static haunting, but of a dynamic presence, an intelligence that seems to have grown and evolved over the course of a century. Long after the original owner's death, a plumber working in the home reported hearing a sound that caused the hairs on his neck to stand on end, a soft, unsettling giggle. He turned, startled, only to discover that the doll, which had been in one corner of the room, had moved across the floor of its own accord. This figure, crafted from wood wool known as Excelsior and dressed in a miniature sailor suit, is no ordinary toy. Standing an imposing 40 inches tall and once bearing the painted features of a jester, this doll is known to the world by a single, chilling name: Robert. The legend of Robert begins in 1904, a year that marked the start of a strange and lifelong companionship. A 4-year-old boy, Robert Eugene Otto, received the doll as a gift. The doll's provenance is itself a matter of lingering mystery. It was reportedly handmade, a one-of-a-kind creation. Though some claim it was a thoughtful present from a girl believed to be of Bahamian descent, another, more sinister account suggests it was given as an act of retaliation. A deliberate act of malevolence born from a perceived wrongdoing and possibly steeped in the practice of voodoo. What followed was a profound and unsettling transference of identity. The boy, Robert Eugene, became so enamored with his new companion that he gave the doll his own name, opting to be called Gene for the remainder of his life. This simple act of ceding his identity to a wooden figure laid the foundation for a profound psychological bond. As Gene grew, the doll became more than just a toy. it became a receptacle for all of his misfortunes and misdeeds. Whenever a pot shattered or a piece of furniture was broken, young Gene would point to the doll and declare, "I didn't do it, Robert did it." This wasn't merely a childish excuse. The doll eventually took the blame for everything negative that occurred in Gene's life, a silent scapegoat for his every failing. Gene even went so far as to build the doll its own room in the attic, complete with its own miniature furniture and its own teddy bear, treating it not as an object but as a conscious entity deserving of its own space and domain. This constant projection of blame and emotional reliance on the doll over the years may have inadvertently acted as a slow-burning ritual, imbuing the figure with a powerful, dynamic force fueled by human psychological energy and misfortune. The end of Gene's life in 1974 did not bring an end to Robert's reign. Anne, desperate to sever the doll's influence, demanded it be locked away in a cedar chest in the attic. But the doll's power had already taken root in the house itself. The artist house was purchased by Myrtle Reuter, and the legend of Robert became her new reality. Myrtle, too, became the doll's companion, even taking him with her when she moved to a new home 6 years later. Her initial fascination with the legendary doll quickly turned to abject terror. She claimed that the figure moved around her house on its own, a horrifying violation of her domestic peace. After 2 decades of terror, Myrtle made a final, desperate attempt to end the curse. In 1994, she donated Robert to the Fort East Martello Museum, declaring him to be haunted. The act was not a simple donation, but a profound relinquishment of power, an attempt to break free from a cycle of supernatural terror. With Robert finding his new home on permanent display in Key West, Florida, many paranormal enthusiasts have visited, including many popular YouTubers. The legend now dictates that visitors must ask for Robert's permission before taking his photograph. Failure to do so, it is said, will result in a curse of bad luck. This rule was not created by the museum. It emerged organically from a growing collection of evidence, a daily deluge of letters and emails arriving at the museum, addressed directly to the doll, offering heartfelt apologies and begging for forgiveness. The museum has a wall of these confessions, a physical testament to a collective phenomenon. Here are just a few true encounters. Kathy C's husband took a picture without asking and felt a shock across his shoulders. He was later diagnosed with a severe illness in January 2020. Katie came into his space without asking permission. She and her fiancé have been experiencing bad luck, including her having cancer and financial issues. Andrea H. took a picture without permission 11 years ago, and so much bad has happened in her life. Eric D. took a picture without permission despite chest pains. The house was struck by lightning 3 times. A rental home caught fire the night before he was to check in. James C. took a photo without asking permission. He has suffered a series of heartbreaking misfortunes. Harriet insisted on writing an apology letter, but sadly woke up in a mental institution sometime later. Exploring with Josh has also had his own supernatural encounter with Robert when he suddenly felt like he was choking and had to leave the museum.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm starting to feel like I can't breathe real quick.
You good?
No.
Oh shoot, dude. It's getting like hot in here.
No.
You good?
I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Oh shit. Get out of here.
You good?
I don't know.
Dude. Dude, I'm getting like a tightness in my chest.
I'm burning.
I'm burning. Shit.
Like, it's like choking.
Dude, your eyes are like turning red.
His legend is a haunting mirror, reflecting the human need to find order in chaos and to attribute our greatest misfortunes to a power outside of our own. And so, he waits, a silent guardian in the museum, forever ready to accept a new apology from a traveler who dared to believe, or a non-believer who has just realized they made the worst mistake of their life. Peggy the Doll. Peggy the Doll is one of the most famous haunted objects in the collection of paranormal investigator Zach Bagans, who is known for his TV show, Ghost Adventures. The doll is housed at his haunted museum in Las Vegas, Nevada. Peggy is considered one of the most haunted dolls in the world. She is said to be possessed by a spirit, or possibly multiple spirits, including a restless woman named Peggy. People who have encountered Peggy, either in person or by looking at her picture or video, have reported a wide range of negative physical effects, including nausea, chest pains, headaches, seizures, and even heart attacks. Visitors to the museum and those who have worked with the doll have claimed to experience intense feelings of fear, rage, and a sense of being watched. There have also been reports of objects moving, strange sounds, and other unexplained occurrences. Peggy is a major attraction at Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum. Guests are warned not to look her directly in the eyes. The doll was featured on Bagans' TV series Deadly Possessions in 2016. During the filming, Bagans and his crew reported unexplainable events, including a sudden onset of rage in Bagans, flies landing on his face, and a camera malfunctioning. Before coming to Bagans' museum, Peggy was in the possession of paranormal investigator Jane Harris in the United Kingdom. Harris had received the doll from a previous owner who was experiencing terrifying paranormal events. Harris herself documented numerous incidents and public reports of people being affected by the doll just by seeing its image. In 2015, after receiving Peggy, Jane Harris posted photos and videos of the doll online. She quickly began receiving messages from people around the world who claimed to have experienced severe negative effects just from looking at Peggy's image. These reports included a wide range of symptoms, such as debilitating headaches, chest pains, nausea, and feelings of intense dread or anxiety. The sheer volume and similarity of these reports from people who had no prior knowledge of the doll were central to the story's development. Among the many reported illnesses, one woman claimed to have suffered a heart attack after watching a video of Harris and Peggy. Controlled experiments revealed an unexplained electromagnetic field, EMF, readings and temperature changes in the room with the doll. During psychic readings, mediums claimed that Peggy was inhabited by the spirit of a woman who was a victim of a violent event in London during the early 20th century. Some believe the doll may contain multiple entities. A woman who claimed that after Peggy appeared to her in a dream and warned her about her cat, she found the cat very ill the next morning, and it sadly died that day. Sam and Colby performed a paranormal investigation inside the museum that holds Peggy, with Zach Bagans telling us his own experience with the doll, and it is truly disturbing.
I did this show in the very beginning of the museum. It was called Deadly Possessions. Out of all the items, the one that messed me up the most was Peggy. She brings Peggy in and had a hood over Peggy's face because at that time, Jane Harris knew that when she posted the picture of Peggy online, how many hundreds of people are just sending her messages about once I looked into Peggy's eyes, I got severely sick. I started having heart problems. The camera that was filming the shot on Peggy, that completely died. And then all these black flies, even Jane wrote about this. All these black flies started surrounding me, my face, my head, Jane Harris's face, her head, and then I had to stand up and I got really angry, really aggravated, and I started kicking pieces of our set. I had to go outside, and I knew right then in that moment that Peggy is a very powerful item.
Oh my god. Ooh, you got chills, man, for sure.
She definitely has like an energy to her.
Maybe we should do the writing planchette first and then open her up.
Let's do it.
We have writing planchette right here. We have our EMF rope now on, and that will detect all around us if there's any EMF energy going off, which right now there is something going off on one of these dolls. Holy shit.
Oh, on just the doll?
Boom. For some reason, this specific doll is making it go off.
The legend of Peggy the Doll is one to admire and fear, but I just can't help but wonder what secrets she might hold within her porcelain frame. Perhaps there are tales of the past that still linger around her, with an energy so dangerous that even taking a mere glance at her picture may put us in harm's way. I have decided to end the video here, as upon uploading images of Peggy, I felt extremely ill myself, and I could feel a headache approaching. Let me know in the comments if you guys felt any effect with any of these dolls. Remember to like and subscribe, click the bell so that you don't miss out on any new uploads, and I will see you all in a later video. Goodbye.